All right. So the other thing that I wanted to address is diversity in Broward County. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm a child of immigrant. I'm an immigrant
Oh,
myself.
wow.
Haitian, fed by us,
Mhm.
So Broward County is extremely diverse.
Very.
I believe over 30% of the population is from one of the islands in the West Indies, right? And then we
Mhm.
also have a very huge Hispanic population.
Yes.
Um, I've seen the people on the board. I've
Yeah.
seen what the school board looks like. I
Mhm.
don't see a lot of diversity on the board, right?
No, not
Um,
that. Mm.
do you think that's necessary? Um, would do you think there's another voice that needs to be heard on the voice? Do you think that children of immigrants have a need outside of what typical student that lives in Broward County?
I absolutely, totally, 100% believe that you have to have someone on the board that's representative of the constituents that you serve, the people that you serve. If you have 30% of your population or your group in Broward County that is um, from the Caribbeans, from different countries, you have to have someone that represents them, that looks like them, that they can have as a point of reference. Growing up, when we were little and coming from Haitian parents, I did not see any Haitian person in an elected official's capacity. I did not see anyone who talked like my parents, who was able to relate with my parents when I was growing up. I didn't see it. And because I didn't see it, out of sight, out of mind, you just assume that it doesn't exist. But as things have changed and during this time now, it's really, really important that people see and children see that there are Haitian Americans on the board, or there are Haitian Americans who are running for Congress or who's running for a Senate seat, that they know that coming from their country, their little small island, that they can and will make a difference. We have a high population of Haitian people in Broward County, and I've seen time and time again in different schools how difficult it is when you're having a conversation with a Haitian parent whose English is not so good, but enough to get them by, but still not enough for a parent to understand where their child is, education-wise and or socially. People from the Caribbean, people from South America, they all have a different way, they have a different culture. And because of that, it's very, very important that the district takes note and make sure that that part is highlighted and provided in the schools. Now, they do have a diversity department in the district that does address Haitians. They do address the Latin American community, but it's very little.
What part of it is very little? Because I think they do some of the notices that they send home. I believe they have it trilingual. It's English, Spanish, and Creole. I don't believe everything comes in Creole, but I have received some letters from school that are in the Creole language.
And what I mean by very little, I think that overall in the state of Florida, that you have a lot of trilingual things out there apart from the school district. So I think that that's something that Florida as a whole really makes an effort to do. But when I say by very little, there is a resource guide, I believe, for the Haitian community that's about 70 pages. I might be a little generous with the amount of pages, but that and it just gives a history of Haiti and when it started, in the middle, some of their popular authors and celebrities, but that's about it. And with the Hispanic ones, there's one for elementary, which is primary, and then secondary, which encompasses the middle and high school, and those are about 80 pages each. It's just in a nutshell, kind of overall what those cultures are.
So the other thing that's so just for my clarification, in the diversity section of the Broward County School Board manual, when they're talking about the Haitian population, they're just giving a history of Haiti and not necessarily how children are performing in the schools in Broward County, or how they're represented.
They do touch on their performances, but it doesn't go into depth. And it's something also, there's items on there that it's supposed to be implemented in schools so children can learn about that, especially if if you're in an area that is a high population of Haitian community. They are supposed to be part of the curriculum. They're supposed to put that part of the curriculum. Now, is that happening? I've been to several schools that are with heavy Haitian concentration, and no, they're not doing that. And again, it goes to it goes by if the teacher has an opportunity to get to that and provide it to the student. I think teachers are so bogged down with testing and bogged down with different milestones they have to reach at a certain time. There's no way for them to have time to kind of promote that or bring it in until maybe the month of May, when it's Haitian Heritage Month. But I truly believe that that's something that needs to be part of the curriculum. We are a nation of immigrants. This is not a country that was, there was a certain amount of people here and then that made this country. We're a nation of immigrants. So there's not one person who's here that's not from another country. And so that is a rich history. And so we should make sure that in the school systems, that is something that is prominent, not on a month to celebrate. It should be something that's prominent all the time.